Morning, good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of SCZ Live. Even though Sedgwick County Zoo is closed, we're still caring, and we wanted to give a special shout out to one of our volunteers, Margaret, who is caring for us as well and has started making some of the zoo staff these wonderful masks. So even though you might notice that we are not wearing masks when we go live, please know that we are social distancing during this time, and Kara, who's manning the camera for us right now, does have a mask on in case we need to interact with her. But I know you're not here to listen to me talk. I know you're here to visit with Lindsay, who is one of our keepers here in the prairie at Sedgwick County Zoo. And Lindsay's going to talk to us today about the grizzly bear.
I have a cool cherry blossom mask. We all have different patterns, so it's kind of nice to say, hey, what pattern do they have? So this is Mallory. She is our grizzly bear that we have here at the zoo. She is 28 years old this year, and that makes her the only original animal that we've had since the prairie first opened. So she's getting up there in age, but she's in great shape. She's not on any kind of medication right now, and she's doing really well, still really active. So I have made an ice treat for her, a giant ice treat that we're going to drop in the pool since it's pretty warm here in Wichita today. So I will let Brian know that he can go ahead and do that. Go ahead, Brian.
And what you guys don't know is we've been here for about the last 10 minutes, and she has been waiting for that ice chunk to come out.
It's pretty heavy, so he might be wrestling it over the ledge up there.
There we go! That was exciting, everybody.
So I made this ice treat in 2 different layers, and I used 2 different flavors of Kool-Aid. So the first layer, the red layer, has got a big trout in it, and it also has some blackberries and raspberries. And then the other layer has orange Kool-Aid in it, and it has some produce, some cantaloupe rinds. So other animals in the zoo get cantaloupe as part of their daily diet. The bears don't, but the commissary keepers are nice enough to save the rinds for us, and that's one of her favorite treats.
I love watching her use her claws to maneuver that around. Are they pretty flexible with how they can handle things?
Yeah, absolutely, and you'll also notice that her mouth is extremely dexterous as well. So grizzly bears have the more kind of spade-like claws, and those are good for tearing up logs and for digging, whereas black bears have more hooked claws for climbing trees. She's also got that, one of the distinctive characteristics of a grizzly bear is that hump on her shoulder, and that is basically an attachment point for muscles to power those huge arms. So you definitely don't want to get high-fived by a grizzly bear.
I think she just got a big piece of cantaloupe rind there. So this is a great example, Lindsay, of how some of the different ways that we care for animals here. This is a type of enrichment, something unique and unusual that we could give to the bears. Yeah. And I love the care that you took into not just throwing stuff together, but really thinking about it, putting in 2 different layers so that she can look at that and experience different things.
Yeah, it's enrichment for us too as keepers. We like seeing the animals have fun with their enrichment and have a good time.
Now, you mentioned that they don't get cantaloupe as part of their normal diet, but we were giving her the rinds. Why don't they get cantaloupe?
No particular reason. We could probably ask for that to happen, put in a request. They do get other kinds of produce in their diet though. So like they get apples, and we talked about this on the Black Bear show a few days ago, but they get some lettuce, apples, carrots, sweet potato, whole salmon once a week. That's one of her very favorite things. But, yeah.
So for those that are out there and think that bears are carnivores and eat mainly fish and meat, that doesn't sound like it's the case.
Right. Yeah, so especially grizzlies. Fish becomes a huge part of their diet in the fall. You know, you'll see the grizzly bears catching salmon. That's when they're really bulking up for their winter hibernation. But for the rest of the year, it's a lot of fruits, berries, grasses, bugs or roots, all kinds of things.
Now, I noticed one of the things you talked about with the claws of the grizzly bear, looking at those claws, it looks like they're 3 or 4 inches long.
Yeah, at least.
Do we ever have to trim them, or does she naturally wear them down?
We haven't gotten to that point yet, but as she gets older, that's definitely a consideration that we have. I know there are some zoos that do trim their grizzlies' claws, but her whole life she's been here. She's worn them down herself, but like I said, she is getting older, so we may definitely have to consider that.
We were commenting earlier about her fur and how well the water rolled off of her when she was in the water. Mm-hmm. Is the fur coarse or is it softer?
It's definitely coarse. At least the top layer is. They've got a coarse top layer of fur. That's where the name grizzly bear comes from, is the fur tends to have a white tip at the end, so it makes kind of a grizzled appearance. But they do have a softer undercoat that helps keep them warm.
Now you mentioned earlier that she is an older animal, but we've had her since the prairie started.
Yep.
So approximately how old do we think she is?
So she is about 28 this year. And she was born at Washington State University. They have a bear research program there. And her half-brother came here to Sedgwick County Zoo way back in '92, at the end of '92. So they've been here, or she's been here for quite a long time. Unfortunately, we lost her half-brother a few years ago. He developed cancer, so, but we've still got her and she's doing great.
Again, you can see those teeth working right there on that frozen treat. Mm-hmm. We have a question out there about a schedule for our live events. We do have live events every day Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock and at 2 o'clock. And then at 4 o'clock, don't forget, we do have those posts, which are our Animal Ambassador Adventures. Those are out there. We also have a really great Twitter feed where we will post an animal artifact, something like grizzly bear fur, and that's all you see, and then you have to try and guess what you think it might be, and then later on in the day we will post what that is. Now for our families that are out there, we are also putting some really fun STEM activities online as well. That's science, technology, engineering, art, and math. They're very simple, so that Monday you can have a 5 to 20 minute science experiment with your kids that's just getting outside, doing things like math with sticks, having fun in a simple, easy way where you're not having to try and find a variety of other resources that are out there. And for those people that have maybe a special day coming up, if you were looking at how could you say make my son is going to be 14 here soon, happy almost birthday, Brett. One of the things that I could do for him is get him a private Zoom with the zoo called Zooming with the Zoo, set up where he could come and visit with his favorite animal or favorite area of the zoo. And we're offering those 7 days a week at 11:30 and 3:30. And all that information is on our Facebook page. So make sure and go there to find out all the different activities. It is listed on our Facebook page under coronavirus, so that you can see all the different things that we're doing. Even though we're closed, we're still caring not only for our animals and our staff, but also for you guys out there. We know how much you all enjoy coming to the zoo. We know how sad you are, or we are, that you're not here with us. So we thank you guys for coming and participating with us each and every day. We're going to leave you here at Facebook Live with a final look of the grizzly bear as she gets to enjoy her frozen treat. Thank you, everybody. And remember, even though we're closed, we're still caring.